Most people think motivation is what gets you results, but motivation is unreliable. Discipline is what changes your life. See, self-discipline is doing what has to be done, regardless if we have the desire or feel like doing it. My name is Andy A. Ordonez. I've been in business, sales, and leadership for over a decade. I've trained over 300 salespeople. I've coached and mentored over 100 different individuals outside of sales. And one thing that I know for a fact is that discipline is the most powerful attribute, characteristic, and identity you can have within yourself. Because discipline will keep you going when you face adversity. Discipline will keep you going when you achieve success. And discipline will ensure that your legacy continues after you're no longer here on earth. My perspective on discipline has been molded by over 15 different mentors in business. Each of them took the time, not just with their words, but with their actions, in showing me what discipline can get you as far as results. And those teachings have now bled into my business, my health, my mindset, and my relationships. And I look forward to sharing those here with you. And seeing that, what it did is it showed me that hard work, work ethic, and discipline will beat talent, will beat inheritance, will beat favor, relationships, connections every time. You can achieve anything you want, all the connections, all the wealth, all the freedom you want if you have discipline. You might be asking, what is discipline? I hear this word all the time, but I'm not too sure what it is. A mentor of mine 5 years ago shared with me that discipline is simply you keeping and staying consistent with the promises you make to yourself. Okay? In other words, discipline is a close cousin to self-confidence. Okay? Without any discipline, you will very much lack self-confidence. And with no self-confidence, you will doubt your discipline. So both are very important for success. Both are very important for achieving everything you desire. Now, discipline, again, is very closely tied to self-confidence. And that's the first thing I want to talk about. Again, whenever you say you're going to do something, you proactively don't do it. We procrastinate. We self-sabotage. We are self-destructive. You are telling yourself you cannot trust yourself. And when you go to sleep every night, you're the last person you look at in the mirror. And you know whether you did everything you had to do that day or you did not. And every single time you go to bed where you know you did not do what you said you were going to do, you lessen your self-confidence meter. You lessen your discipline meter. Okay? The more self-confidence you have, the more you keep those promises to yourself, the higher your discipline meter. The more excited you are to remain disciplined. Because let me tell you this, the more disciplined I became, the luckier I got. The more disciplined I became, the more successful I became. The more disciplined I became, the more people started to want to have me around, okay? Because very few people are disciplined. So decide to be one of those people and you will stand out in the crowd of everyone. Now, the second idea in regards to discipline I'd like to share with you is that discipline will overcome adversity. And adversity is inevitable in your life. See, adversity will happen financially in your life, will happen relationship-wise in your life, will happen physically in your life, will happen family in your life, will happen in some capacity. You will experience adversity. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And then when it occurs, you must be prepared. And part of that recipe of having that preparation in place is having that discipline in place. The most difficult time to remain disciplined is in two parts of your life: when you are struggling and when you are succeeding. Let me explain. When you are struggling, we like to play the victim. oh, it's not my fault. We make excuses. It's this person. It's the economy. I got involved with bad people. That all might be true, but you are in the situation because you made decisions that led you there. Now, if it was the exterior world, a tragedy that happened, that is still adversity. That is terrible. Okay. But discipline and being consistent on a daily basis, weekly basis, monthly basis, yearly basis to get you out of that mindset, to get you out of that hole, to get you out of that situation is the only way to get out of it. Unfortunately, we've seen people who do not have discipline prepared in moments of adversity remain in a hole for the rest of their lives or an extended period of time. And before they know it, many years have passed by and they're still dealing with that same problem that would have been overcome with just being disciplined about getting out of that problem. Because let me tell you something, you have the power, you have the ability to change anything you want in your life. But very rarely do we hear that. And discipline is the key ingredient to changing it. Now, the other time you really, really require discipline and it's really, really difficult to muster it up is when you're succeeding. See, when you succeed, you will experience something called conformity. You have never reached the heights of your success, and your subconscious mind will proactively self-sabotage you back to where you think you belong. You will stop doing what got you to become successful. Trust me, I speak from experience. Every mentor I've ever had has told me the same thing, but until you experience it, you will not be able to identify it. The first time you experience conformity and you use discipline to get out of that conformity and you break through, that will be the last time you should experience it, but it will continue to happen. And working on that discipline muscle, keeping those promises you make to yourself and drilling it on a daily basis with your daily rituals, with your daily habits, with your daily, weekly, monthly, yearly commitments, that is how you will be prepared for adversity and success. So those are the two principles I wanted to share with you, those two ideas. If this hit home, drop a comment and share this with someone who needs to hear it. And if you're focused on growing in mindset, business, and real estate, subscribe. Because every week I drop practical frameworks to help you dominate your goals and live with purpose. This has been Andy A. Ordonez. Until next time.